Ancient mysteries that was just solved.
Let's get right into it. Number 9. Uncovering the Maya superhighways with lasers. Researchers have recently discovered an ancient highway system hidden in the jungle using lasers shot from planes.
Okay.
The lasers go right through the trees and create a detailed map of what's underneath. What they found was mind-blowing. These weren't just little dirt paths connecting villages. We're talking about massive stone highways stretching over nearly 650 square miles. That's bigger than modern-day Las Vegas. The Maya had an entire transportation network that would make some modern cities jealous.
Wait. When were they around? Does anyone know in chat? How? What do you mean they got roads? How did they have aliens, bro? I'm telling you, it has to be aliens. It's got to be aliens.
These roads were built with incredible precision, often in perfectly straight.
A few thousand years ago, you're telling me they got roads, and I bet you any money they got less potholes than the UK roads.
Straight lines. Some of these highways lined up with the stars. They built roads that point exactly where the sun rises during the winter solstice. They basically built their own ancient GPS system using astronomy. For years, everyone thought Maya cities were like isolated islands in the jungle. Turns out they were more like ancient New York and Los Angeles.
Wait, chat, you know when I look at history, yeah, I get a little bit confused. Because I feel like back 1,000 years ago, we was very, very, very smart for the technology we had or didn't have, right? And then I feel like somewhere down the line, we got really, really, really dumb. And then in the past 200 years, we started to get really, really, really smart again. Like, I feel like somewhere in the middle, we got very dumb very quick. Because, like, things from 1,000 years ago, like this, seems really smart. But then the middle of history, when we were just running around with swords and shields, just killing everyone, I feel like that's when we was dumb. Like, we just ran around killing people.
Connected by stone highways, these roads moved entire armies, traded goods across hundreds of miles, and hosted massive religious processions. They were so well built that some are still visible after being buried in jungle for over 1,000 years.
Mad.
Number 8. Lost Egyptian city of Thonis Heracleion. This was Thonis Heracleion, the Las Vegas of ancient Egypt. It was so fancy it had 2 names. The Egyptians called it Thonis. The Greeks called it Heracleion. For 2,700 years, this city was basically ancient Egypt's front door. If you wanted to trade with Egypt, you had to go through Thonis Heracleion first. Think of it as ancient customs and border control, cool. But with more statues and less paperwork. Then one day, the whole city just sank. Not gradually either. We're talking about a catastrophic event. The ground turned into something like quicksand during an earthquake. The entire city slid into the ocean like it was on a water slide. For centuries, people thought this city was just a myth, like Atlantis, but with more pyramids and less Hollywood movies. Then in 2000, scientists found it. They found a massive statue of Hapi, the god of fertility, face down in the mud. A 16-foot-tall red granite statue that's basically the ancient equivalent of a Get Lucky billboard. Man. Ironically, the god of flooding ended up underwater. Number 7. The true colors of ancient Greek statues. These ancient statues used to look like they came straight out of a comic book. Tiny specks of paint were found on these ancient sculptures, thanks to UV lights and electron microscopes. It's like finding fingerprints at a crime scene. But these fingerprints are 2,000 years old. The Greeks weren't subtle about it. They used bright reds, electric blues, and even gold leaf. Walking through ancient Athens meant seeing a giant statue of Zeus, looking like he just stepped out of a pride parade.
Wait. Yeah, I thought back in the day, chat, back in history, that would definitely be a no-go. Like, I know times have changed now, right, which is great, but back then, wouldn't you think like they would prefer like for the men to look very manly and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean?
They found a marble sphinx from 500 BC.
Especially back then.
It was basically the ancient equivalent of a tattoo sleeve. It had intricate patterns and detailed feathers, all painted in dark red.
No, but you know what I mean? Like back then, manly men were like in knight's armor, in like, you know, dark colors, right? Is more ago then Christianity is what changed it? Wait, really? Oh, this is Greeks? Oh, so Greeks were totally different? Really? It was more accepted then, and then it kind of changed over time, and then changed back. All right, interesting. This is what I'm saying. I feel like we were smarter back then, got dumb, and then changed back, got smart again. Do you know what I mean?
And blue. The colors weren't random either. They used different skin tones to show ethnicity, added gold to show divine status, and painted muscles to emphasize.
So there wasn't racist back then either? Mate, is all of history a lie? Wait, so you say that there wasn't racist back then, and then it got very racist in between, and then, you know, we're getting better? Well, they're showing different races on their statues.
Size strength. These statues were the ancient equivalent of a tricked-out lowrider. For centuries, art historians praised the pure white marble as sophisticated. Meanwhile, they were basically praising statues that were missing their makeup. The Greeks would have looked at our modern museums and thought all these statues were naked. Number 6.
That's why all the Greek statues are naked. They was into that. With all the little toddlers out and the boobers out and all sorts. Oh my God, it's making sense. It's making sense. So the Greeks were technically like the freest and most, what's the word? Like the most, what's the word I'm looking for, chat? Respectful to anybody of anyone. No matter what you are. So so the Greeks had it right, and then we got worse, and now we're trying to get back on track to where the Greeks were. Chat, what's the word right now I'm looking for? We accepting of everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it seems like. Oh, they also did have slaves. So they're not right in every department, but...
The toxic water mystery of Tikal. The Maya were slowly poisoning themselves without even knowing it. It all started with their love of the color red. They painted their temples and pottery with a beautiful red pigment called cinnabar. But cinnabar is basically mercury in fancy clothes. Every time it rained, this red paint would wash into their water reservoirs. The reservoirs also became breeding grounds for toxic algae. These weren't regular pond scum. These were super toxic blue-green algae that even boiling couldn't kill. The Maya built these reservoirs to save themselves from drought. Instead, they created pools of death that would make a nuclear waste dump look refreshing. Researchers discovered layers of toxic sediment at the bottom of these reservoirs. Each layer was like a history book written in poison. The mercury levels they found would make a hazmat team nervous.
Alright, chat, I get it. The Greeks weren't all great. But they was halfway there. I feel like they was much better than us. Honestly, like 10 people is just put different, like 10 different points to why it, you know, it also sucked there.
When drought hit in the 800s, people had to choose between drinking poison water or leaving. Most chose to leave, which explains why they found so many perfectly good houses just abandoned. Number 5. Ancient Egyptian ink recipes. The Egyptians used two...
Yo, chat, what is that thing that we found in like the past decade that we still can't, I'm pretty sure we still can't explain it today. Is it like, have you, any of you guys seen it? It's like it was labeled the world's oldest computer. Has anyone seen it, what I'm on about? Super cool. Like, it was like a working, like, was it like a working computer, like a working GPS or something like that? Like a working compass with some weird ass fucking shit inside of it. Bro, I'm telling you, man, summer's gone weird down in history. Because for the lack of technology they had, I don't understand how they were so smart. You know what I'm talking about, but you don't remember what yeah, it was like some weird device thing. We still can't explain how it was, like, how it works.
Main colors. Black for regular text,
a calculator,
and red for the important stuff. They were adding lead to their ink. Not because they wanted their scribes to go crazy. Using lead made the ink dry faster on papyrus. When scientists hit these ancient papers with super-powered X-rays, they found something incredible. The particles of lead weren't just sitting on top of the papyrus. They were actually sinking into the fibers, creating perfect outlines around each letter. These guys basically invented permanent markers without knowing it. They mixed their molten...
Yo, chat, I just thought, you know, in the future robots that take over the Earth, yeah, they're gonna look at us not in the same way we're looking at this history right now. You know how we're looking at this history right now? We're like, wow, they're really smart for the technology they didn't have, right? Robots are gonna look at us and be like, wow, they had really cool technology and was really fucking dumb. Like, you're telling me we got the technology to go to different planets, but yet we're sat there trying to kill each other in stupid wars. Like, they're really going to be disappointed with us. Genuinely, they are. Like, they're not going to look at us the same way we're looking at these right now.
Lead with all sorts of chemicals, phosphates, sulfates, stuff that wouldn't be discovered until thousands of years later. This ink recipe was so good that we can still read their shopping lists 3,000 years later. Number 4. The Shigir Idol, world's oldest wooden sculpture. When workers in Russia were digging in a peat bog back in 1890, they hit something weird. For over a century, its true age was a complete mystery. Then, scientists finally solved the puzzle. Using advanced radiocarbon dating, they discovered it was carved 12,000 years ago. This single discovery rewrote history, proving that ancient hunter-gatherers were creating complex, monumental art. This thing was huge, originally about 17 feet tall. The ancient artists carved it using beaver jaws as tools. The statue features 7 faces stacked like a totem pole, covered in zigzags and waves. While the exact meaning of these symbols is the next great mystery, science has already solved the biggest one, revealing a masterpiece from the dawn of human creativity. The peat bog preserved it perfectly.
Oh, wait, chat. Isn't the reason why we got dumb, like, in time? Wasn't it because that big-ass library burned down? Like, isn't that what people say? What was the library called? Like, if that library never got fucking burnt down, like, we would be so much further ahead than right now. Alexandria, is that what it is? Library at Alexandria. Like, if that didn't burn down, then we would be a lot further than where we are right now. That slowed us down a bit.
Perfectly, like a giant wooden pickle. Number 3. Sunken wood circles. Scientists found something wild hiding under lakes across Europe. Perfect circles made of wood, sitting at the bottom like ancient crop circles for fish. These weren't random logs that fell in a circle. These were built with the precision of ancient engineers. They built perfect circles underwater using nothing but wood and Stone Age tools. The wood should have rotted away ages ago, but the water's lack of oxygen turned these structures into time capsules.
Mad.
It's like these ancient structures got accidentally pickled. These circles were built on dry land. Then, over thousands of years, the water levels rose, and they slowly sank. The ancient builders used
Well, no, James, that is correct, though. Like, if all computers got wiped, we would reset. Like, we would. Or, like, if we blew each other up, well, then, of course, you would reset. But, like, no. Like, if we lost the internet, let's say, like, all electronics got wiped or something. Like, alright, wait. Can't a solar flare from the sun wipe us out? Not wipe us out, but wipe out all electric? Like, is it called a solar flare from the sun? Yeah, so if we got one of them that wiped out all electric from the, like, on the earth, we would reset. Well, we wouldn't reset, but we'd be fucked. We'd be fucked. Half of us wouldn't even know what to do. Like, half the planet would die out. Half the planet would die. We wouldn't even know what to do.
Complex joinery techniques that we thought weren't invented until way later, but instead of using stone that lasts forever, they chose wood that decays. Number 2. Reading the burnt scrolls of Herculaneum.
Lola, you say books. I'm telling you right now, anyone under the age of 30, probably 95% of them has not read a full book. So that's 95% dead of all people under the age of 30. Right? So that's already a lot. That's already a lot. Okay? Then you got people that's probably read a book, but on accident. Then you got people that's actually got worse with age, so they might have read books when they was younger, but then they ended up turning into the Florida man now, right? So like, Like a lot of people, let's use this as an example, you know, Florida men, right? A lot of them, they might have been really smart when they was 20, 30. But now they're 40, 50, 60, going around as crackheads, you know, in the streets. They're screwed as well, right? So a lot of people, and then there's a lot of countries that might not even have books, right? But then again, those countries might not even have technology. I don't know. Yeah, we'll be screwed though. A lot of people will be screwed.
When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, it didn't just turn Pompeii's residents into human statues. It also cooked an entire library of scrolls in nearby Herculaneum. These scrolls were basically turned into charcoal tubes that would crumble if touched. For centuries, these scrolls sat there, mocking historians with their secrets. But scientists recently figured out a way to read these scrolls without touching them. They used special X-rays to give these ancient texts a CT scan, like what doctors use to look inside your body. Then they let AI loose on the images to find the hidden writing. They found philosophical writings about pleasure and happiness. One of the first words they decoded was purple in Greek. They turned this into a contest called the Vesuvius Challenge. Computer experts from around the world competed to decode these ancient texts. They managed to read entire passages from scrolls that haven't been opened since before the fall of Rome. The scrolls were found in what historians think was some rich Roman guy's house. This dude had over 1,000 scrolls in his personal library. Number 1.
Yo, where did he get all the scrolls from? Holy shit.
Chankillo Solar Observatory. Over 2,300 years ago in Peru, an ancient civilization built a clock using an entire mountain range. They constructed 13 towers in a perfect line across a ridge. For centuries, the purpose of these towers was a mystery, until researchers finally cracked the code. Each tower was precisely placed to track the sun's movement throughout the year. On the summer solstice, the sun would peek out from behind the rightmost tower. During winter solstice, it would appear behind the leftmost one. And during the equinoxes, it would appear right between the middle towers. These ancient astronomers could tell you what day it was within 2 to 3 days, just by watching where the sun rose. The towers were originally painted in bright colors, yellows, whites, and ochres. This massive astronomical device looked like a giant rainbow stretched across the desert, but we have no idea who built it. This observatory predates the Incas by over 1,000 years. The civilization that built this masterpiece disappeared without leaving much trace besides...
Fucking, I'm telling you right now, aliens, bro. What do you mean disappeared? With no trace. Aliens. They came down, gave us a little help, because like we're just so stupid. You know, sometimes when we're just really dumb, they just send an alien down here just to boost us a little bit, because we're just taking our sweet, sweet time. There's probably aliens out there waiting for us to develop so they can just battle us like Star Wars. They're probably bored. And they're just waiting for us to develop so they could do that, but we're not. So they're trying to give us a little boost.
Besides this cosmic clock, the most incredible part is this device still works perfectly after 2,300 years. That's all for today.
2,300 years. 2,300 years. They built a whole ass clock by rocks in the sun, and 2,300 years later, people still can't tell the time. People can't tell the time. So many people.